One day, I was looking at a list on Letterboxd. The list was a collection of some of the most bizarre and surreal B-movies you can possibly find. Upon viewing all the weird, poorly designed, and downright hideous posters, there was one that stood out above them all. What you're about to witness is incredibly disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. Now, let me tell you something. As someone who's been watching movies for well over 2 decades, I've seen my fair share of crappy posters, which often fell into 2 camps. Either they make me laugh for having an egregious error or oversight, or they can just baffle me as to how someone thought that these were a good idea. But never have I ever seen a thing that instills the fear of God into me. Seeing this Chuck E. Cheese Razorhead baby staring at the viewer like the observer is supposed to be its next victim, while it's trapped in this poorly photoshopped world, creates this weird, negative, emotional aura around it. Like we're looking at a snapshot into someone's nightmare, or one of those cursed images that people would forwarded around in chainmails from decades ago. It's truly one of the most unsettling things I have ever seen. And then it dawned on me. What does a film with a poster like this even be about? Does the sea serpent look as bad as it does in the image? And more importantly, what other horrors lie within this flick? And down the rabbit hole I go. Put on your diving suit, cause this voyage is about to get weird. This is... Hang on, I haven't introduced myself. You see, I go by many names, but you can call me Mac, or Dale, or simply just MacDale. And today's garbage is a fossilized dinosaur turd from 1997, titled Little Lost Sea Serpent. The video is one of many projects done by B-movie extraordinaires, the late Donald G. Jackson and Scott Shaw. Now, before we dive right into the film, I would like to talk about these 2 individuals. There is a very good reason as to why. Please bear with me on this. Donald G. Jackson was born on April 24th, 1943, in Tremont, Mississippi. Donald was a simple man who worked at an auto factory. However, his true calling in life was making movies, so he dropped what he was doing to pursue his passion, and created 2 films in the mid-70s. The Demon Lover, which was a parody horror movie, and a film alarmingly titled I Like to Hurt People, which, don't worry, it's not a snuff film, it's actually a wrestling film. But enough of that. With his newfound success, and his $15 he earned thanks to these films, he moved to Hollywood to continue his career in producing and directing such masterpieces as Rollerblade and Hell Comes to Frogtown.
You're gonna see the biggest piece of shattering entertainment that ever molested your sensibilities.
That sounds great.
As he kept chugging along, releasing film after film, he became good friends with a film producer who goes by the name of Scott Shaw. Born on September 23rd, 1958, he's...
yeah, I believe so. 69.
Well, how do I put it? Oh hey, check this out. I'm on his official bio section on his own website. Ain't that convenient? Let's take a look at it, shall we? Scott Shaw was born in Los Angeles, California. He is a prolific author, actor, filmmaker, composer, artist, journalist, photographer, and blogger. He is also a seminar, college, and university instructor. During his youth, Shaw became involved with two primary elements that have come to define much of his life. The first was martial arts, and the second was Eastern mysticism. Yeah, he's a eccentric individual, to say the least. But yeah, it seems that Shaw and Donald were meant to be, as their friendship lasted for 3 decades, making, directing, starring, and producing all sorts of wacky movies of exceptional quality. And one of the biggest reasons as to why they are the way they are is because of Shaw. Now, you see, Scott Shaw is actually Buddhist. On his website, he has written all sorts of essays about his faith, religion, spiritualism, entertainment, and the more I look into this guy's past, the more he reminds me of the yoga instructor who tries to get into Amanda's pants from GTA 5. But anyway, Shaw, just like the yoga instructor, did the unthinkable. No, he didn't do... No, I didn't meant like that. Forget it. He took 2 facets of his life, his faith and his job, and melded them together to form this groundbreaking style of filmmaking, dubbed Zen filmmaking. Now, what is Zen filmmaking? According to Shaw, it's this. The gist is, Zen filmmaking is, well, a style of filmmaking that doesn't use a screenplay. Yeah, that's right. These films were made without the aid or use of a screenplay. Now, if you fail to see how this is a massive red flag, let me elaborate. A screenplay is essentially an instruction manual to whatever film or TV show they were currently working on. It's meant to provide a detailed outline of the project's story and also relay crucial information to cast and crew. For example, a screenplay can tell the actor how to deliver their lines, what props should be in there, what's the lighting, what track should play, etc. So the fact that these films were made without a screenplay or any form of planning or scheduling may explain the lack of quality with today's subject. But there's only really one way to find out. The film opens up with a variety of shots with no real cohesion or order that are vaguely thematic to the film, to the tune of its original theme song. What the hell? What is that song? What is that? Sounds like a tuba player being thrown down a flight of stairs. What the hell is that? What is that?
Boy, that was some storm we had last night.
Yeah, it sure was. There was power out all over the place still.
How can we take advantage of the situation?
These two right here are the first characters we're introduced to. 2 journalists with a knack for all things cryptoid related, as well as being some of the most useless characters in recorded history. I must confess, I was under the false impression that these characters were meant to be the main antagonists. The point of this scene is meant to establish this little character arc. And that needs a couple quotations on it. Hey, there you go. The arc is supposed to be about the journalists proving cryptoids are real in a film titled Little Lost Sea Serpent. Case closed, right? Well, no. In actuality, they are completely useless to the plot, as they don't interact with the main characters. There's never a moment where they steal the serpent. It's not hyperbole to say that they literally contribute nothing to the story. Not only that, they also have this really questionable aspect to their characters, which we will touch upon later. But for now, the next scene takes place at the coastline, and we are finally introduced to our main characters. A younger, miserable kid, and a much older, considerably less miserable girl. They're here to, as they say it, collect seashells. Either that, or they pick up used needles and inject it in their eyes, or collect STIs, or whatever Californians do in their spare time. After the two bozos have a back and forth conversation about their parental circumstances.
So what's wrong with you? I don't know. I just wish my dad would come home. I miss him a lot. I know. My dad died when I was 4. Just be glad your dad's still around. I guess. Let's go down to the water and look for seashells. Okay.
God, this film is so stilted, it hurts. Beep bop boop, I have daddy issues. Beep bop boop, at least you have a daddy. Let's go get seashells. Beep bop boop, that sounds perfectly acceptable. Beep bop boop, I am totally a human and not a robot. Beep bop boop. We get a scene with the two journalists committing the most heinous crime you can possibly imagine. That's right, wasting our time. After that criminal offense, the film cuts back to the two kids having a conversation about what else? Daddy issues. Wait, hang on, what?
Look at this one. I've never seen one like this around here before. The store must have brought it in from somewhere else in the world.
Yeah, great.
Well, you're no fun today.
I'm sorry, Julie. I just want my dad to come home. But he wants to be a big reporter so bad that he almost never comes home. When he is home, they fight. Sometimes it's pretty bad. So that's why Dad moved out for a while.
Well, I guess we do need a character arc in this film, so yeah, it checks out, I guess. While this is happening, the journalists discover the kids.
Hey, isn't it great?
Hey, what's that noise?
What noise?
Ah, it's just a couple of kids.
Where? Aw, ain't they cute? I remember when I was a kid. I even had a girlfriend.
Oh, come on. You were never that age.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You have a bunch of grown men, somewhere between their 30s and 50s, dressed up like street flashers, stalking a bunch of kids from a distance without the children even knowing? Look, I'm very much aware this film was made in a different time, before we were bombarded with a never-ending barrage of accusations of society's most powerful and influential people having strong opinions about the age of consent. Yeah, let's put it like that. But you gotta admit, this is still strange to put in a kid's film. I wouldn't be surprised if these two were listening to R. Kelly and P. Diddy back to back. Oh god, just thinking about this makes me gross. Oh well, still gonna make diddler jokes. Anyway, back to the story. After some unfunny hijinks, we finally get to something actually interesting as the kids spot something lurking in the seaweed. I wonder what it could be. It's a small creature that's inside a pile of seaweed in a film titled Little Lost Sea Serpent? What could it be? I'm going to hedge my bets and say it's none other than Boris Karloff. Nah, I wish. What they actually found is way scarier than any monster he played as.
What is it? What is it? I don't know. Maybe it's a seal.
No, it's too small for a seal. Do you think it could be a shark? It's too small for a seal.
Do you think it could be a shark?
It might be a seagull. They're mean.
If it is, it's in trouble.
They're eating her. And then they're going to eat me. Oh my!
Oh god, it's somehow even worse in motion. It's so ugly, ugly, ugly! It's so gross, not only on a visual level, but on an audio one too. Every time this wretched, vile, satanic swine shows up, it plays the most annoying giggling you will ever hear in your pitiful life.
We can't let anybody get home. He seems to be lost. Maybe we can help him get home.
Oh, why, God? Why? I'm totally being genuine and not hyperbolic for comedic effect. No, I'm being